What's happening, y'all? It's your man Earl Day. Oh my goodness, don't even know what day it is. We're in Chicago, getting ready. I forgot my calendar, but I do know it's July 9th, Thursday. So I didn't forget what day it is. I got to look it up on the calendar. But anyway, today's July 9th. I'm in Chicagoland, getting ready to head back to the Quad Cities. And yesterday we talked about pivoting. Today I'm going to add a little bit more meat to that conversation on why you need to pivot. So today's July 9th. Don't know what day it is. I forgot my calendar at the house. So with that being said, we just got to ride out with today's Thursday, July 9th. We're talking about reasons why you need to pivot. Okay, reasons why you need to learn how to pivot. We talked about pivoting as a strategy, and then today I'm going to give you a couple of reasons why pivoting can be crucial. So number one, these are in no particular order. Let them relate to you as you see fit in ministry, in business, life, marriage, relationships. The pivot is a crucial business maneuver, okay? Number one, you pivot because things are changing at an incredible pace, okay? Years ago, information used to double 2 to 5 years. Information now is doubling and within 18 months. I've even seen some stats say that information is doubling every 6 months. So I'm not here to quote that precisely, but you need to learn how to pivot because new information can be exposed to you that can change your life, and you need to be able to pivot, especially if that new information comes in the form of a brick wall. Stops you dead in your tracks, so to speak. Okay? So you need to learn how to pivot because information is changing at such a rapid pace. Okay? And business, ministry, nothing is void of change. Okay? So understand that. Pivoting, it could be because of a informational change. You got exposed to some new information, and that information caused you to hit brick wall, so now you got to learn how to pivot. All right, second piece. Pivoting, oftentimes, if done correctly, can create revenue expansion. Otherwise known as pivoting can create opportunities to expand your revenue base. We talk about it all the time. You need to have multiple sources of income streams. Okay? Multiple sources of income streams. And learning how to pivot, you can oftentimes, if done correctly, create or expand revenue streams. Okay? When you hit a brick wall, you have to immediately evaluate what's working, what's not working, and pivot to continue on generating revenue and or pivot to expand your revenue base. Okay? Number three, this is probably the toughest one, but it sounds the easiest. You pivot to stay relevant. A lot of people say, pivot, stay famous. Listen, you can keep the fame. I want the revenue source. I don't want to be popular. I want to be productive. Okay, I don't want to be famous. I want to be financially stable. So be careful pivoting just for the sake of trying to stay relevant. All right? Yes, you want to stay in your market's eye, if you will, or in your market's, if you have a service and you want to stay in your market that is already using you, but don't pivot just to stay relevant. All right? Make sure when you pivot, there is a bona fide solid reason. Okay? Don't just be pivoting to be pivoting because you want to stay famous. You want to stay popular. All right? So make sure that when you pivot, you're pivoting for the correct reason, not just to quote unquote stay popular, stay famous, stay relevant, if you will. All right? AKA, this is where we talk about jumping on the bandwagon. That's not for everybody. Bandwagon businessmen. A lot of people try it and they fail. Okay? So be careful following groups of people and audiences just for the sake of following them. All right? Fourth reason why you pivot. You pivot because you come to realize that your original business concept just is not strong enough to sustain itself. This often requires business owners to take a tough look at themselves in the mirror. A lot of people don't like that part. This type of choice, this type of pivot is not easy. Let me make this is probably the most rarest pivot, is when you pivot because of your business model is not proficient. This is rare, but this is also the most profitable when you change, when you recognize self is the roadblock. Okay? And then the fifth reason why people pivot is because oftentimes you've got your back against the wall, you've got no choice, but if you pivot at this point, it can reinvigorate or jumpstart the business model. Now, this is different from just evolving, all right? Because evolving is you're moving forward, but pivoting is you've come to a place where things are starting to slow down or completely stop, and you pivot to jumpstart your business. This is your man Earl. Day, not too sure what day it is, but I know it's July 9th, Thursday in Chicagoland. Getting ready to jump back on the highway. We'll catch you Friday. God bless you. God keep you. Part 2 of the pivot. God bless you. Peace.